Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about Hashirama Senju. Now, we all know that all four Hokages are back now, and one of the Hokages that we all know about, that's been talked about especially a lot during this war, of course, is Hashirama Senju. We all know that he's known for wood style. Madara has hyped him up to be even more powerful than him at one point, capable of going toe-to-toe with him with perfect Susanoo. So it's really puzzled me, like, what could Hashirama possibly have, or how great could his wood style actually be to where it could even beat Madara using perfect Susanoo at some point? Especially seeing how Madara's been able to chop mountains in half and do all this crazy kinds of stuff. And not only that, but in that same battle, we all know that Kurama was involved, the Nine Tails. So it's like, there had to be more to Hashirama. Now, I thought of something in particular actually about Hashirama. We all know that wood style is composed of both using the earth style element, or the earth nature, and the water nature. And no one else can do that or can create wood out of earth and water except for Hashirama. And some people will probably just say, oh, it's just his Kika Genkai, but sometimes I think it's a little bit more than that, because looking at some other things that have been said about Hashirama, especially during the war, and seeing is how he's very key in terms of somebody gaining the Renegon, or even being able to use certain Uchiha jutsu such as Koto Matsukami. We saw Danzo needed Hashirama cells to be able to use that. It seems like, it has a lot of life-giving properties to it, and it's supposed to be very special. So, it makes you wonder, what is so special about Hashirama? So one thing I actually thought about was, we all know Jugo, right? Jugo has natural, or he's able to pull in a lot of natural energy, and it enables him to have this thing called Sage Transformation, where he's able to transform. Now, in the recent chapter of Naruto, I think 618, we saw, of course, Jugo push out, by infusing some natural energy in Sasuke, push out all the Zetsu clones, which made me kind of think, I noticed that natural energy kind of affects the Zetsu clones, which are like Hashirama, they're his cells. So not only that, but we even seen, like, during Madara, of course, Madara and Obito, when they're trying to gain control of the Ten Tails, they used Hashirama's cells to try to gain control of the Ten Tails. And the Ten Tails has been known to have a lot of natural energy. I mean, it's pretty much, Naruto said he couldn't even measure how much natural energy that it has. So we all know where natural energy comes from, or natural energy, or I shouldn't say where it comes from, but we all know that sages utilize natural energy a lot. And I really think that Hashirama may actually have been a sage at some point. Now, before a lot of people just say, oh no, that doesn't make any sense, think about it. If earth style and water style jutsus, when you combine them together, I kind of could see him not only combining it with earth and water, but actually infusing it with his own natural energy, thus giving life and creating a plant. I really think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I couldn't see any other reaction. Not only that, but Naruto in his Nine Tails chakra mode. Now, I'm not sure if he's really giving off a lot of natural energy or anything like that, because he's not necessarily in Sage mode. But one thing we all notice is that whenever he's in the Nine Tails chakra mode, he's able to affect wood clone. I mean, like, not the wood clones, but the Zetsu clones, and we've also seen him affect Yamato's wood style, and it's been able to make it grow and branch out, and start seeing leaves appear and all that. So I definitely think natural energy has a big part in playing with Hashirama's whole wood style techniques. And not only that, but then it also would make sense, maybe he knows other sage jutsus. And another example of we've seen somebody using natural energy to somewhat give life to something is Kabuto. During his fight against Sasuke and Itachi, he used the move, and I'm actually going to tell you the chapter. He used a move called Sage Art Inorganic Reincarnation, or the Japanese name you could say is Senpo Muki Tensei. And that's on chapter 582, where he temporarily is able to control the cave by giving some of his natural energy to the cave and actually manipulate it and give life to it for, a short period of time. Obviously, that was stopped by Sasuke when he used Amaterasu. But I thought about that. I mean, that back there, kind of made me think, okay, Hashirama, he's known for being able to use the wood, and not only that, but he's able to somewhat, reamp different techniques, such as if someone has, Shisui Uchiha with his Mangekyo Sharingan, and Koto Matsukami with his chakra, you're able to, instead of waiting a whole decade to be able to use it again, you can use it within like a day's time, just from having Hashirama's chakra alone. And not only that, but of course, Madara has been able to live as long as he's been able to live before, of course, he actually died when he broke off because of Hashirama's chakra. And, now some of you guys probably wonder, like, okay, well, where would Hashirama actually be able to gain sage abilities? And where would he have learned it? Because they never mentioned him at the Toad Sage place. And, Ryuchi Cave doesn't really seem like that would meet his style. Well, Kabuto mentioned one other place, and it was called Shikotsuren, or the Shikotsu Forest, which is, I think, in a rough translation of that would be Damp Bone Forest. So, I mean, I actually think, since we haven't seen the Damp Bone Forest yet, or the Shikotsu Forest yet, it's a great possibility that that's actually where Hashirama learned his sage mode. I'm really thinking that he's a sage mode user at some point, and it would kind of go with the theme, like you think about like the Sage of Six Paths. Now, it hasn't been confirmed if he's necessarily a sage mode user or a senjutsu user, but I definitely think he probably is. I mean, you even have the Ten Tails that revolves around natural energy, and it definitely would tie in the whole sage thing to the story, really nicely if Hashirama is also a sage, and the Sage of Six Paths are also sages. Especially since Sage of Six Paths is actually, called a sage. I mean, I definitely wouldn't see why he wouldn't know senjutsu abilities. It's not like this is another series or anything like that where maybe, sage means something different. Sages gain the title of sage in the Naruto world from learning senjutsu, or learning how to build up natural energy. Now, one last thing I want to say about all this, I mean, some may say, okay, well, what about other wood style users? How are they able to use it? Obviously, Obito, he hasn't learned Sage mode, and obviously we know Jugo has not learned Sage mode. Well, not Jugo, but what's his name's Madara. Madara has not learned Sage mode. Obito has not learned Sage mode, and nor has Danzo. But I'm kind of, or Yamato either. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe Hashirama is similar to Jugo in a sense where maybe he can naturally build up like natural energy. Like maybe maybe not constantly pulls it in, but maybe maybe his body has a similar effect where he pulls in natural energy, and maybe that's somewhat of like his Kekkei Genkai. Maybe not necessarily the wood style itself. So I don't know if this makes sense to any of you guys, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think that maybe Hashirama could be a Sage Mode user, and maybe he could have a similar ability of pulling in natural energy, like kind of like a natural effect of his own body, maybe more controlled than Jugo, but somewhat similar, and maybe that's his Kekkei Genkai, and maybe he just eventually went to the Shikotsu Forest at some point during his life and actually learned how to use Sage Mode and be able to control natural energy. And if you guys agree with me, just let me know. If you don't, then that's fine. And if you have any other theories, or maybe you think there's any other Sage Mode users, you can put it down in the comment section below. But this is pretty much what I've been thinking about this a lot lately, guys. So just let me know what you think. Anyway, don't forget to rate this video. So please don't forget to thumb it up if you liked it, and you can thumb it down if you don't like it. And that's pretty much it. See you later.